I've seen vibrant, active seniors in their 60s suddenly become foggy, fatigued, and frail, not because of illness, but because of the way they changed the way they eat, not from eating too much, but from cutting too much. Hi there, I'm Dr. James. I've spent over 35 years specializing in nutrition and aging. And there's a truth I've discovered, one that few people are talking about, but you deserve to hear it first. Let me ask you something. Have you been trying to eliminate all carbs and sugar from your meals lately, thinking it'll help you control your blood sugar, lose weight, or protect your heart? Have you switched to black coffee, skipped rice or bread, avoided fruit, and limited yourself to boiled eggs and steamed vegetables every day? If so, I gently want to share something important. That kind of diet may be quietly hurting your brain, your joints, and even your heart, day after day, without you realizing it. Let me tell you about Cheryl. Cheryl is 67 years old, from a quiet town in Ohio. After watching a low-carb transformation video online, she made a decision. No more rice. No fruit. No milk. She lived on steamed veggies, grilled fish, hard-boiled eggs, and plain water. Week 1. She felt lighter. Week 2. The headaches started. Week 3. She was waking up with painful muscle cramps and digestive issues. Week 4. She collapsed in her kitchen. Her blood sugar had dropped so low. It became an emergency. Her husband called me in a panic. When I examined her, I found that her body had slipped into a state called ketosis stress, a kind of metabolic shock caused by cutting too many carbs without proper guidance or medical supervision. Carbs, sugar, not the enemy, just misunderstood. Here's what most people don't realize. After 60, your body loses its ability to store and manage energy like it used to. One of the biggest changes. Your glycogen reserves, those little energy tanks in your liver and muscles, don't fill up or release energy as easily as they once did. Your brain alone uses about 120 grams of glucose each day. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. Glucose helps you stay mentally sharp, move without feeling shaky, maintain your short-term memory, keep your mood and sleep cycle stable. When you suddenly cut out all carbs, your body is forced to burn fat for fuel, a process called ketosis. Now, ketosis can be useful in specific cases under medical supervision, but for most older adults, especially those with chronic conditions, uncontrolled ketosis can do more harm than good, according to a 2020 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience. Older adults require consistent glucose availability to maintain cognitive function. Sudden carbohydrate restriction may impair the hippocampus, an area essential for memory formation. Front Aging Neurosci. 2020, 12:573012. In other words, cutting all carbs might make you forget where you put your keys, or what day it is. For silent consequences of overcutting carbs. Symptom why it happens: mild memory loss, your brain lacks glucose, mental fog, confusion, muscle weakness, body breaks down protein for fuel, muscle wasting, unstable blood sugar paradox, liver overproduces glucose, sugar spikes, crashes, mood swings, poor sleep, less serotonin, harder to relax or sleep deeply. The truth? It's not about removal, it's about replacement. Yes, low carb, or no sugar, can be helpful, but that doesn't mean cutting all carbs is the answer. The real key is choosing the right kinds of carbohydrates at the right times, and avoiding the harmful ones. Let's break that down. Harmful carbs: healing carbs, refined sugar, sodas, white bread, instant noodles, leafy greens, root vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds. So, the big question is, if you're over 60 and hoping to steady your blood sugar, ease joint pain, improve focus and memory, sleep more soundly, and wake up energized instead of exhausted, then what should you eat? You need 7 powerful foods that contain no added sugars, no harmful carbs, and no crash-inducing junk, foods that fuel your brain, strengthen your heart, support your independence, and I want to walk you through each of them, gently, clearly, one by one. because as someone who's walked alongside over 12,000 patients in their 60s, 70s, even 90s, I've seen firsthand how the right foods at the right time can rewrite the way aging feels. Each part of this journey will include the science behind how it works, a real story from someone just like you, how to use it in your everyday meals, who should be careful with it, my personal advice as your longtime doctor friend, this is not a diet, this is not a trend, this is a return to what your body truly needs after 60, and it all begins with one of the most underestimated vegetables of all time. A leafy green that may just help rebuild your memory and lower inflammation, but has been ignored for generations. Let's begin with part 2, leafy greens, small leaves, big protection. Picture this, you're holding a single green leaf in your hand, it feels light, fragile, maybe even forgettable, but what if I told you? Inside that leaf is a kind of quiet power, a power that could slow down brain aging, calm inflammation in your blood vessels, help your muscles recover, and even sharpen your memory, naturally, gently, no pills, no fancy powders, just leafy greens. Why people over 60 need leafy greens? Every single day, as we age, our blood moves more slowly, our cells regenerate less efficiently, and our brain becomes more vulnerable to silent inflammation. That's why so many older adults feel tired, forgetful, or foggy, and think it's just normal aging. But it's not always age. Sometimes, it's deficiency. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, these aren't just salad fillers, they are nature's tiniest doctors, working at a cellular level to help you stay sharp and steady. What they do for your body, benefit how it works, improves memory rich in lutein, folate, vitamin K, nourishes neurons' cognitive function, protects blood vessels, natural nitrates, increase nitric oxide, relaxes arteries, lowers pressure, strengthens bones, vitamin K1, calcium supports bone density, reduces fracture risk, fights inflammation, aging, flavonoids, beta-carotene neutralize damaging free radicals. A 2018 study from Rush University Medical Center in Chicago, published in Neurology, found older adults who consumed leafy greens daily had cognitive performance equivalent to being 11 years younger than those who rarely ate them. Neurology, Volume 90, Number 3, 2018. The study followed over 960 people between ages 58 and 98 for 5 years, and even the researchers were stunned by the results. Elaine, age 69, from forgetful to focused, Elaine was a retired art teacher in San Diego. When she came to see me in 2022, she said, "I keep forgetting where I put my keys. And yesterday, I called my granddaughter by the wrong name, 3 times. Maybe I'm just getting old." But her cognitive tests told a different story. Her memory was slipping faster than it should have been. I suggested a simple change, not pills, not programs. Just food. We created a plan: lunch, 1 cup of raw spinach with olive oil, flax seeds, and half a boiled egg; dinner, lightly sautéed kale with garlic and 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. 4 weeks later, Elaine walked into my office smiling from ear to ear. "Doctor, not only did I remember my granddaughter's name, I beat her in a game of Sudoku." How to enjoy leafy greens daily, without getting bored. Mealtime real-world ideas: breakfast green smoothie with spinach, avocado, chia seeds, no sugar added; lunch mixed leafy salad with boiled egg, olive oil, pumpkin seeds; dinner kale stir-fried with garlic and olive oil, paired with salmon or steamed chicken. Quick tip: don't overcook greens. Sauté lightly for 3 to 5 minutes or steam briefly. You'll preserve more vitamins and flavor. Who should be cautious? If you're taking blood thinners like warfarin, talk to your doctor before increasing high vitamin K greens like kale or spinach. If you have a history of kidney stones, avoid eating large quantities of raw greens high in oxalates. Light cooking reduces this risk. That said, for most older adults, 1 to 2 cups per day, rotated between different greens, is not only safe, but deeply healing. especially when combined with healthy fats like olive oil. Treat every green leaf like a prescription for youth, except you don't need a pharmacy to fill it. And remember, leafy greens aren't a side dish, they're the main act in your body's daily comeback story. Up next, now that you know how greens can wake up your brain and renew your energy, let's talk about a pair of vegetables that may not look exciting, but can quietly sweep excess sugar from your bloodstream and protect your heart without a single pill. You probably walk right past them at the grocery store. Join me in part 3. Broccoli cauliflower, the silent detox duo. You know, one of the biggest mistakes I've seen older patients make is thinking they need expensive superfoods to stay healthy, but in reality, two of the most powerful healing foods are right there in your neighborhood grocery store, affordable, easy to cook, and quietly doing what no medication can, reducing excess sugar in your blood, calming inflammation in your leg veins, and helping you wake up with lighter, more energized legs each morning. What are they? Broccoli and cauliflower. Why this cleanup crew matters after 60. As we age, 3 things often start happening under the surface. Blood sugar fluctuates, even when you don't eat sweets. Silent inflammation builds in your vessels, leading to leg pain, high blood pressure, even strokes. Carbs become harder to digest, making you feel bloated and tired after meals. But here's the surprise: broccoli and cauliflower don't just avoid making things worse, they actually help reverse all 3 problems. Science-backed benefits. Benefit: how it works. Balances blood sugar rich in soluble fiber. Sulforaphane slows sugar absorption, improves insulin sensitivity, reduces vessel inflammation. Compounds like glucosinolates. Indole. 3. Carbinol lower CRP TNF-alpha, 2 key inflammation markers, boosts cellular defense. Cruciferous antioxidants protect DNA, reduce mutation and oxidative stress, supports brain function. Sulforaphane enhances glutathione production, a powerful antioxidant that shields brain cells. British Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2012. Sulforaphane in broccoli reduces insulin resistance and chronic inflammation in older adults at risk for type 2 diabetes. B.R.J. Clinnut, Volume 105, 2012, pages 133 to 143, Harvard School of Public Health, 2020. Adults who consumed cruciferous vegetables 4 times a week showed a 30% lower risk of cognitive decline, presented at American Society for Nutrition Annual Meeting, 2020. Harold, 72, the man who thought he'd be on pills forever. Harold was a retired postal worker in Michigan. Every morning, he woke up with aching legs, stiff knees, and blood pressure that refused to stay under 150. His wife, June, stumbled across a health article one evening, so she started roasting broccoli and cauliflower with olive oil and garlic, just 3 nights a week. Harold said, "Honestly, I didn't expect much. It's just vegetables, right? But after 3 weeks, I could stand up without pushing off the armrest. I walked up the stairs without needing the railing, and the biggest shock, my doctor said my blood pressure dropped, without changing a single pill." How to enjoy them after 60, the tasty, easy way, method. Doctor's tip: roasted, cut into bite-sized pieces, toss with olive oil, minced garlic, roast at 350 degrees Fahrenheit 180 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes, keeps it sweet and crispy. Steamed: steam 5 to 7 minutes, pair with tahini sauce or sesame salt dip. Lightly stir-fried. Use a cast iron pan with a splash of water oil. Cook for 3 to 4 minutes to preserve vitamin C and crunch. Suggested serving: 1 cup per day, alternating between broccoli and cauliflower. Best absorbed when paired with eggs, fish, or healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. Who should be careful? People with thyroid issues should avoid eating large amounts of raw broccoli or cauliflower frequently. These veggies contain goitrogens, which can interfere with iodine if overconsumed raw. But don't worry, light steaming or roasting greatly reduces this effect while preserving all the benefits. For most older adults, especially those managing diabetes, high cholesterol, or joint pain, these 2 veggies are must-haves on the weekly menu. Your body after 60 is like an old engine. It needs regular oil changes. Broccoli and cauliflower are nature's oil filters, humble, unflashy, but quietly powerful. You don't need fancy, you don't need hype, you just need real food that knows how to heal. From the inside out, we've just met the dynamic duo that clears sugar and calms inflammation. But now, I want to take you to the ocean, because there's one kind of fish, rich, satisfying, and low in carbs, that can protect your memory, lift your mood, and slow down brain aging. It's been called liquid gold by researchers at Harvard. And most people over 60 aren't eating enough of it. See you in Part 4, Fatty Fish, the quiet guardian of your brain and heart. I once asked a 70-year-old patient, when do you feel most clear-headed during the day? He paused, smiled, and said, probably Tuesday afternoons. Right after I've had my salmon lunch. I laughed at first. But later, when I reviewed his labs and MRI scans, I realized, it wasn't just a coincidence, because after 60, your brain doesn't need another supplement, it needs the right kind of fat, the right anti-inflammatory support, and a slow, steady source of energy. And all three come wrapped in one humble piece of fatty fish. What exactly is fatty fish? Fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are called fatty fish because they're rich in heart-healthy fats, especially omega-3s, and they have virtually zero carbs and no sugar. You don't have to eat them every day, just 2 to 3 servings a week can quietly send healing signals to your brain, your heart, and even your mood. Why is fatty fish so vital after 60? Key benefits: scientific mechanism, improves memory, protects against Alzheimer's, rich in omega-3s, DHA, EPA, they rebuild brain cell membranes and reduce neuroinflammation, protects the heart, lowers triglycerides, regulates heartbeat, keeps arteries flexible, eases anxiety, depression. Omega-3s help balance serotonin and dopamine levels, reduces systemic inflammation. EPA lowers CRP and IL-6, markers of chronic inflammation linked to arthritis, heart disease, and more. Harvard School of Public Health, 2016. People who ate fatty fish at least twice a week had a 27% lower risk of memory decline. Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, 2016, Volume 50, Issue 2, American Heart Association, 2020, Omega-3 rich fish can reduce the risk of stroke and heart attack in seniors. Circulation, HA Guidelines, 2020, Helen, 73, remembering herself again. Helen, a retired art teacher from Oregon, came to see me with tears in her eyes. I forget the names of my old students all the time, but what scares me more is that I forgot how much I used to love painting. She wasn't diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but her brain scans showed shrinkage in the hippocampus, the memory center, and her blood work critically low in omega-3s, so I made one simple recommendation: eat salmon twice a week, grilled with lemon, olive oil, and a dash of dill. Add canned sardines to a salad once a week, ditch margarine, use olive oil or fish oil instead. 6 weeks later, Helen returned with a soft smile and 3 new paintings. Her hand still trembled slightly, but there was a sparkle in her eyes I hadn't seen the year before. I still forget names sometimes, she said, but I remember who I am again. How to eat fatty fish safely after 60, fish type simple, tasty suggestions: salmon baked with lemon, rosemary, and a drizzle of olive oil. Canned sardines toss into salad or eat with whole grain toast and avocado. Mackerel steam with ginger and scallions, a wonderful east-west fusion. Recommended portions, 2 to 3 times a week, 100-150 g per serving. Choose wild-caught fish when possible for better quality. Who should be cautious? Those with gout should monitor their intake. Fatty fish contains purines, which can worsen flare-ups if eaten excessively. If you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor before taking high-dose fish oil supplements. Avoid high-mercury fish like big tuna or swordfish. Stick with salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Fatty fish isn't just food, It's a biological love letter to your heart and brain, whispering, "I'm still caring for you." I still believe in my own clarity. It's never too late to give your body what it remembers from youth, and sometimes, the key is right there on your plate. We've just seen how one piece of fish can calm your vessels, sharpen your brain, and lift your mood. But now, it's time to look back at something we often fear: eggs. Many seniors think eggs raise cholesterol. But the truth, eggs might be one of the best morning foods for your brain, eyes, and blood sugar, if eaten the right way. Join me in part 5, Eggs, the smartest breakfast for brain, vision, and blood sugar after 60, ready to crack open the truth. Some mornings, patients walk into my clinic with that familiar look of guilt on their face. "Doctor, I messed up. I ate 2 eggs this morning, am I ruining my liver and kidneys?" I smile and gently ask, "And since you stopped eating eggs, have you felt any better?" The most common answer, "No. I feel worse. I'm more tired. I get shaky mid-morning. I snap at my spouse over little things." Here's the truth, it's not the egg that's the problem, it's the shame we've been taught to carry for eating one of nature's most perfect foods. Why do people over 60 need eggs? As we age, the body craves a few essential things: high-quality protein to preserve muscle, choline to protect memory, lutein zeaxanthin to shield the eyes from macular degeneration, natural fats to keep morning blood sugar stable, and beautifully, one humble egg contains all of this, wrapped in a small, affordable, and nutrient-dense package. Key nutrients in just one egg. Nutrient special benefit: choline helps build brain cell membranes, supports acetylcholine, critical for memory. Lutein zeaxanthin protects the retina from degeneration, blurry vision, and cataracts. Complete protein maintains muscle, helps prevent age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia. Natural saturated fats keeps morning blood sugar steady, reduces fatigue and shakiness. Tufts University, 2017, egg eaters had 30% higher levels of lutein zeaxanthin and significantly lower rates of macular degeneration. Journal of Nutrition, Volume 147, Issue 2, American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2020, choline from eggs reduced the risk of cognitive decline by 28% in older adults, AMJ Clin Nutr. 2020, 112, 3569, 577, BMJ, 2013, no link was found between egg consumption and heart disease in healthy adults, BMJ 2013, 346, E8539, Claire, a 63-year-old homemaker in Utah, used to start her day with coffee, and nothing else. She avoided food in the morning, worried it might cause weight gain. By 10 a.m., her hands would start to shake. Her mind would go foggy. She assumed it was low blood sugar, so she'd grab a pastry. But it only made her feel worse. When she came to my office, I asked, "Claire, when was the last time you had eggs for breakfast?" She laughed nervously, "Maybe 5 months ago. I was afraid of cholesterol." I gently encouraged her to try something new: 2 boiled eggs each morning, 1/2 avocado on the side, a warm cup of water with a slice of fresh ginger. 10 days later, she returned beaming, "Doctor, no more tremors, I feel clear-headed all the way until lunch, and I don't crave sweets anymore." How to eat eggs effectively after 60, form suggested pairing. Boiled 2 eggs 1/2 avocado keeps you full and energized. Pan-fried, with no or little oil, pair with sautéed spinach and onions. Steamed egg custard gentle on digestion, perfect for seniors with chewing difficulties. Recommended intake: 1 to 2 eggs per day is safe for most healthy older adults. Best eaten at breakfast or lunch. Avoid eggs at night if you experience digestive discomfort. Who should be cautious? Those with familial hypercholesterolemia, genetic high cholesterol, should consult their doctor before eating eggs daily. Always fully cook eggs to avoid salmonella, especially important for people with weakened immune systems, but for the vast majority of healthy people over 60. Eggs are one of the cleanest, cheapest, and most nourishing sources of protein available. Eggs are an honest food, no flashy labels. No gimmicks, but if you treat your body kindly, an egg will return the favor, with clarity, stability, and calm energy. There's something comforting about beginning your day with real food, and nothing is more real than a warm egg in a quiet mind. Now you know, sometimes what we've been told to fear is exactly what our body is missing. From a steady breakfast with eggs, we now shift to the afternoon, not to cookies, not to granola bars, but to a small, mighty handful of nuts and seeds. They keep your blood sugar balanced, your mind sharp, and your muscles calm, especially at night. See you in part 6, Nut Seeds, the small handful that packs big strength for seniors. I once asked a 68-year-old man with type 2 diabetes, "When do you feel most tired or hungry during the day?" He replied without hesitation, "Around 3 in the afternoon. Right after lunch, I just want to nap. My arms and legs feel heavy." And what's alarming is, many older adults think that kind of afternoon fatigue is normal, but it's not. That's not just getting old. It's a sign of blood sugar dips, magnesium loss, and cellular energy depletion, all of which can be gently corrected with just a small handful of the right nuts or seeds. Nuts like almonds, walnuts, and seeds like pumpkin and chia contain no sugar, are very low in carbs, but are packed with healthy fats, protein, and minerals older adults often lack, especially magnesium, zinc, and vitamin E. Why nut seeds matter after 60? Benefit: biological mechanism, stabilizes blood sugar. Fiber: healthy fats slows glucose absorption. No spike crash cycle, prevents muscle cramps. Fatigue: rich in magnesium, regulates muscle contraction. Cellular hydration, protects brain nerves. Omega-3s: vitamin E nourish nerve tissue, reduce oxidative stress, supports bones, joints. Zinc, magnesium, manganese, activate bone-building enzymes, ease inflammation. Journal of the American College of Nutrition, 2015. People who consumed 30 g of mixed nuts daily had more stable long-term blood sugar, HbA1c, and fewer daily glucose fluctuations. JACN, Volume 34, Issue 3, Harvard Nurses Health Study, 2020. Magnesium from nuts reduced nighttime leg cramp risk by 24% in women aged 60 and up, presented at ONUM Annual Meeting, 2020. British Journal of Nutrition, 2016. Just 1 tablespoon of chia seeds per day improved cholesterol and reduced CRP inflammation after 6 weeks. BRJ Nutr, 2016, 116, 5878-887. Tony, a 70-year-old retiree from Arizona, used to grab 2 oatmeal cookies every afternoon, thinking they were a healthier option, but afterward, he'd feel sleepy, a little shaky, and almost every night, he'd wake up with leg cramps. When I met him, I made a simple suggestion: ditch the cookies, carry a small bag of 15 to 20 raw, unsalted almonds, and drink a glass of water with a slice of lemon. 2 weeks later, he came back smiling. "I don't yawn anymore in the afternoon, and last night was the first time I slept through without leg cramps." How to add nut seeds to your daily routine. Time of day suggestion: morning 1 tablespoon chia seeds soaked overnight in plant-based milk. A light digestive pudding. Mid-afternoon, a small handful of almonds or walnuts on their own or added to plain yogurt. Before bed, 1 tablespoon pumpkin seeds, rich in zinc, magnesium, supports deeper sleep. Ideal serving: 25-30 g per day. 1 small handful is plenty. Rotate between types. No need to overeat. Avoid sugar-coated, overly salted, or heavily roasted varieties. Who should be cautious? Those with sensitive stomachs or ulcers should chew thoroughly or opt for soaked seeds like chia or flax. Those with nut allergies, rare in seniors, can substitute with soaked whole oats or boiled lentils, but for most healthy older adults, nuts and seeds are the perfect mini-meal, nutrient-dense, stabilizing, filling, without the blood sugar spike. Don't underestimate a handful of seeds. They may be small, but they're nature's energy batteries, helping you stay sharp, steady, and less reliant on pills or powders. There's something quietly powerful about this daily habit. It doesn't require effort. Just a little consistency, and that's often the difference between a life of slow decline and one of graceful vitality. So far, we've explored a healthy breakfast, a balanced lunch, and a revitalizing snack, and we've seen that true health isn't about big changes, but about tiny, timely, and intentional choices. But there's one creamy fruit that's still misunderstood. People think it's too fatty or bad for cholesterol. The truth? It's one of the best natural sources of good fats, supporting heart health, satiety, and stable energy. Join me in Part 7, Avocado, the misjudged fat that became a healing force. One afternoon in 2018, a patient of mine walked into the clinic holding half an avocado in her hand. She placed it gently on my desk and asked, "Dr. James, I've heard this thing makes you gain weight. Is that true? I've avoided it for 15 years. I looked at her, smiled, and said softly, "You know, the very thing you've been avoiding might be exactly what your body has been desperately needing. Once you cross 60, your body doesn't handle sugar, insulin, or fat the way it used to. One poorly balanced meal can leave you feeling drained, achy, foggy, and quietly increase your risk for a heart attack or stroke. But avocado? It's like natural oil, a healing fuel that helps your body stabilize, recover, and age with grace. No pills. No gimmicks. Just a whole food with quiet power." The biological benefits of avocado: benefit scientific mechanism, cardiovascular support rich in monounsaturated fats, MUFA, lowers LDL, bad, raises HDL, good, cholesterol, blood sugar regulation, high fiber healthy fats slows glucose absorption, reduces insulin spikes, brain mood support packed with folate, vitamin B6 supports natural dopamine serotonin production, joint inflammation relief, contains carotenoids, tocopherols, vitamin E, fights cellular inflammation, lasting fullness, keeps you satisfied longer, reduces snacking, helps manage blood sugar swings. Journal of the American Heart Association, 2015. Eating one avocado a day reduced LDL cholesterol by 13% and raised HDL in adults over 50. Jaha, 2015, for G001355, Nutrition Journal, 2013, avocado consumers had smaller waistlines, more stable body weights, and significantly lower risk of metabolic syndrome. Notre J, 2013, 12:1, American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2016. Lutein from avocados accumulated in brain tissue and enhanced short-term memory and processing speed. AMJ Clin Nutr, 2016, 104, 1121, 131. Joanne, 66, a retired nurse from Dallas, had followed a low-fat diet for nearly 20 years. No oil on salads. Breakfast was always brown rice toast and a banana, but her health told a different story. Blood sugar kept creeping up, cholesterol remained stubbornly high, she constantly felt tired, mentally and physically. I told her gently, "Joanne, your body doesn't need no fat. It needs the right fat." We redesigned her lunch: half an avocado, one boiled egg, green salad with olive oil and lemon. 6 weeks later, Joanne came back glowing. For the first time in years, she said, "I didn't need a single extra pill to manage my cholesterol. And strangely, I just feel calmer, like my mind isn't racing anymore." How to eat avocado for maximum benefit. How to eat it. Pairing suggestions: plain simple 1/2 avocado, a pinch of sea salt, sliced tomato, on toast, whole grain toast, avocado, boiled egg, microgreens, in a salad, avocado, baby spinach, chia seeds, olive oil, lemon juice. Ideal amount: 1/2 to 1 avocado per day, best enjoyed at breakfast or lunch to sustain energy throughout the day. If you're watching cholesterol, prioritize avocado over processed cooking oils. Who should be cautious? Latex allergies. People with latex sensitivity might react to avocados. Try a small amount first. Advanced fatty liver disease. Avocados are calorie dense, moderate portions are best, for most adults over 60. Avocados won't make you fat, they'll keep you satisfied, energized, and balanced. Your body doesn't fear fat, it fears the choices we make, like fearing fat itself. Or cutting out real, healing foods because of something we heard on TV 20 years ago. Avocado may fill your stomach, but it also fills your heart, with calm, stability, and quiet healing. Together we've explored greens, fish, eggs, nuts. And now this soft, nourishing fruit, but we have one final guest, a food you don't chew, but every golden drop carries powerful healing for the heart, brain, and aging body. Join me in part 8, extra virgin olive oil, the healing oil for the heart, brain, and the golden years. A few years ago, I sat across from an 85-year-old woman in a tiny village in Greece. She had rosy cheeks, a sharp memory, and walked to the market every morning as if time had forgotten her. I asked, "Ma'am, what's your secret to staying so vibrant at your age?" She smiled, reached for a glass bottle beside her, and said gently, "1 spoon of olive oil every day. I never miss it. It's not sweet. It doesn't smell like fresh-baked bread. It's not colorful or trendy, but extra virgin olive oil might just be the most powerful natural gift for your heart, brain, and aging body." Every spoon contains oleocanthal, a powerful anti-inflammatory compound, monounsaturated fats, MUFA, the heart's best friend. Polyphenol, cell-protective antioxidants, vitamin E, to slow down aging in your brain, skin, and blood vessels. Biological benefits of olive oil. Health benefits. Scientific mechanism, lowers risk of stroke, heart attack. MUFA lowers LDL, bad cholesterol, raises HDL, good cholesterol, softens arteries, sharpens memory, protects from Alzheimer's. Polyphenol reduce brain inflammation and protect neurons, fights inflammation throughout the body. Oleocanthal works like a natural ibuprofen, reducing CRP and TNF-alpha, stabilizes blood sugar, slows down carb absorption when added to meals, supports liver gallbladder, gently stimulates bile flow, improving fat digestion. Journal of the American College of Cardiology, 2020. Adults who consumed at least 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil daily had a 19% lower risk of dying from heart disease and a 29% lower risk of cognitive decline. JACC, 2020, 75, 15 1729 to 1741, Predimed Study, Spain, 2013. A Mediterranean diet rich in extra virgin olive oil reduced stroke risk by 30% among seniors at cardiovascular risk. New England Journal of Medicine, 2013, 368:1279, 1290. Eleanor, a retired librarian from Oregon, came to me after decades of using low-fat margarine. She thought she was protecting her heart. But her lab said otherwise. Her LDL cholesterol was still high, her skin was dry, her hands were cold, and she couldn't sleep through the night. I looked her in the eye and said, "Let's stop fighting fat. Let's give your body the right kind." I suggested just one simple shift: replace margarine with 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil daily, drizzled over salad or added to her morning eggs. 4 weeks later, she returned smiling, "I'm sleeping better. My hands are warm again. And my doctor says my heart rhythm has evened out." How to use olive oil daily. Simple, nourishing ways. Use practical suggestion. Salad dressing: 1 tablespoon olive oil, lemon juice, pinch of sea salt. On eggs, drizzle on cooked eggs to boost flavor and nutrients. On whole grain toast, olive oil. Fresh tomato slices, a sprinkle of oregano. With steamed veggies, mix olive oil, minced garlic, cracked black pepper instead of dipping sauce. Ideal amount, 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. Use extra virgin, cold-pressed olive oil, prefer uncooked or added. After cooking to preserve nutrients. Who should be careful? If you struggle with chronic diarrhea, Begin with 1/2 tablespoon/day, and build up slowly. Avoid blended or poor quality oils, which oxidize easily. Store it properly, cool, dark place, tightly sealed, never beside the stove. For most seniors, olive oil is not just a cooking oil, it's a healing oil. I tell every patient, a spoon of olive oil a day is the gentlest way to say to your heart, I haven't forgotten about you. You've now walked with me through leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, fatty fish, eggs, nuts, seeds, avocados, and now olive oil. 7 humble foods, easy to find, easy to prepare, yet backed by hundreds of studies and thousands of healing stories from people just like you, living better after 60. After 60, your body doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for something simpler and wiser. Don't starve your brain cells, don't hurt your blood vessels with misinformation, and please, don't cut out what keeps you alive, just because of a rumor. If this video helped you rethink the way you look at food, leave a comment and tell us, which food were you most afraid of, and what will you try again, starting today? And if your parents, siblings, spouse, or neighbors could benefit from these 7 healing foods, share this video, as a small gift, from your heart to theirs. If you're still with me now, I want to say something sincere, thank you, not for watching this video, but for taking time to finally listen to your own body, something many of us forget to do for decades. Together, we've walked through green leafy vegetables that quietly revive memory, cauliflower and broccoli that soothe inflamed arteries, omega-3 rich fish that nourish the aging brain, small but mighty eggs that fuel neural energy, tiny seeds and nuts that hold the spark of vitality, misunderstood avocados that deserve a second chance, and finally, drops of golden olive oil, silent healers flowing through every blood vessel. True health after 60 doesn't come from the latest pills. It comes from the tiny daily choices we make, repeated with care, and made from understanding, not fear. You don't have to change your entire life, you don't need to punish yourself, you just need to fall in love again, with the right foods, gently. Consistently, no extremes. No starvation. No cutting corners, just clarity. And kindness toward yourself. If this video helped you see more clearly what your body truly needs, I invite you to take a small step, tap the like button, so YouTube knows this message is worth sharing with more people over 60, subscribe to the channel, I still have so much to share with you, and most importantly, leave a comment and share your story. Which of the 7 foods did you once avoid or fear, and which one are you ready to bring back into your life, starting today? You never know, your comment might just be the light someone else needs, on a dark and confusing day. You deserve a healthy body, not to live the longest life, but to live the deepest one, so that every day after 60 isn't just another page in the calendar, but a new chapter, filled with strength, clarity, memory, and a heart that still beats boldly. I'm Dr. James, and if you're still here, know this, I'm still here too, and I'll keep showing up, meal by meal, story by story, to walk this healing path with you. See you in the next video, my friend, let's grow stronger together, one bite at a time.